Hey guys, what's up? MurderofBirds here, and this is my Log Horizon episode 6 review. And I'm also going to be incorporating episode 5, a little bit of events that happened in episode 5 along with episode 6 because I didn't put out a review for it last week. But with these past two episodes, I'm so gassed because if any of you guys watched my episode 3-4 review, I had predicted all of the events that happened in these past two episodes. And I honestly couldn't even, I didn't really even have any type of evidence to go off of. It was just a gut feeling along with little bits of context clues here and there regarding, Akatsuki going up against that samurai dude, Shiroe dying during the raid. I specifically mentioned, I was like, okay, I don't know what, but based on the context clues of the opening, for example, Akatsuki face down in the snow, similar to that other girl that got attacked by that samurai dude who looked like Santa Claus at first. I mentioned that. I also mentioned that I felt like there wasn't really anything that I could have gone off of, but I had this feeling that Shiroe was also going to die at the exact same time during his raid. And them two were going to go into this limbo kind of state, which apparently was between death and respawn from from episode 6. When they were in that type of different dimension of after you die. At least I guess that's where their psyche goes before they respawn. I couldn't believe that I was right. Like, I've had other predictions of the series, like season 1, when Rudy was a person of the land. I had a theory before they actually revealed that was true, but this was ridiculous because it was like episode 5 came and then episode 6 I watched them both one after the other, and I was like, dude, like, I predicted all this would happen, and the context clues, like I mentioned, it was just all there. And then also I think it was episode 1 or 2 where we got that foreshadow type of dialogue between Akatsuki and Shiroe talking about, oh, I died, I failed, Christmas Eve, all that other stuff. So just the fact that I had all of this on point was really, like, it was just enlightening for me, because it's like my mind's in the right place as far as where I see the series going. Or maybe the context clues were just there and it's all in my head that I feel like, oh my gosh, I got all this right. But yeah, so Akatsuki went up against that samurai guy. She got blitzed. She got defeated along with Shoujo, which he's a freaking boss in of itself. She died during that battle. My mind's playing a blur on me right now. Shiroe died during his raid, so he ended up dying, and they both ended up dying at the same time. And they went to that that limbo experience, that limbo dimension or whatever. Between death and respawn, they had their moment. And essentially, I thought like the lights that were going up in the air, I referred to those as souls, but that would have been the case if they were normally dead. But in this case, those were the memories that they essentially give up in order to respawn and start all over again, that's the cost of death. They don't die in the game. They just lose their memories and they come back to life, which is both of them ended up dying. So they both lost a part of their real world memories, which we don't know what it was, but it's obvious that they lost something as the memories scattered as they respawned. But they both got a little bit of dialogue talking to each other about, they both didn't put in their full effort. They both didn't go in prepared as they initially should have. And the best thing to do at this point is to start all over again, try even harder. Akatsuki wants to get stronger. She's talking about she always wants to be by her Lord's side. So for her, it's to train, get stronger, learn the teachings, do some raiding, get some level ups, get some better items and all that stuff. And for Shiroe, come better equipped, come better prepared, learn from your mistakes and strategize even better, and then go back for those raids again. So that whole first part was just really exciting for me, because it's like, damn, my head's in the right spot. Like, my predictions are on point. I was really glad that I got those. Moving on from there, we got a little bit more details regarding the Santa Claus dude, as I was previously calling him. Apparently, he is a person of the land in some relation to the Kuni clan, and he also is a very big threat because he's just blitzing people left and right. We find out that he actually stole a part of the Royal Guard armor, which I also mentioned in my last week's review. My 2 week ago, episode 3-4 review, that he was shown in episode 1 cleaning off the Royal Guard armor in that hall. And apparently when no one was around, he ended up stealing that armor. Now that's crucial because those armors are powered by the magic circle in every city. And it essentially gives you infinite power, that of which rivals the Royal Guard, rivals the adventurers. So like if adventurers are fighting each other in the town, Royal Guards come through, they're OP mega hacks, and they take care of the business. Now, this dude has that armor, so he essentially, as long as he's in the city, he's just unstoppable. No one can stop him. So apparently he's hacked. So like I said, he's a person of the land, which Princess Leonessa feels like it's very troubling, because there was just this whole entire build of season 1 where the people of the land and the adventurers decided on a truce to become, buddy with one another, as they move forward. And now this particular incident with this person of the land wielding this armor and pretty much going on a rampage, serial killing rampage, killing all these adventurers, could cause a feud between the adventurers and the people of the land as the series progresses. Me personally, I feel like the Kuni clan are behind this. That other dude, Kinju, I think his name is, I don't really remember, the guy who was negotiating with Shiroe at the beginning of the series, at the beginning of the second season. I feel like he just came up to Leonessa. He was like, "Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. The Kuni clan are behind this. I feel so bad." But it didn't feel sincere. It felt like he was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna give her a half-ass apology. Let this guy do his thing." So I feel like there is something, he is behind it to some degree, or he has some knowledge of how things actually went down, because I don't know, he just feels kind of fishy to me. And not to mention, he already has that armor, but he also has that badass katana, that high-level, phantasmal-level katana that Akatsuki was looking at in the shop. It has area of effect damage, and it does cold damage. So that sword is already blitzing everybody, and it's kind of ironic that it does cold damage, given that it's wintertime and it's snowing and it's already cold to begin with. But yeah, so this guy's going on a serial killing rampage, just defeating everyone. I don't really know what his motives are. Like, he's just going on a rampage, just killing people, which is another reason why I feel like the Kuni clan hired this dude, or just told this dude, "Hey, go crazy, do whatever you want." And from there, we get into a little bit of action for episode 5. Heavy action with Shoujo. This dude's a freaking badass. Like, he's nice, he's innocent. We've seen him in season 1. He's the leader of that all-girl clan. And he's a really nice, but then, when he takes his clanmates very seriously. He's like, "Yo, when you find that dude, you better murder his ass." And this dude's just a straight badass. He has one of the teachings, Divine Eye, which basically lets him see the flow of his opponent's attacks and pretty much gives him a preemptive chance to defend or dodge the attack before it actually comes through. So I think that's pretty badass. He's a samurai. He dual wields. He just looks so sick. And then him alongside Akatsuki, both of them going at it with this dude. It was just awesome, and it's a really great take on some action, since majority of the second season has been basically diplomatic issues, this, that, and the other. So that was also pretty cool to see as well. Alongside that, we got some sympathizing struggles with Leonessa, Princess Leonessa, coming to, she's finally breaking out of her shell. Everyone is seeing, the faults of another and how one person, they can help each other. Akatsuki's seeing that Leonessa is really, she's not really fit to the part of, with all this diplomatic struggles and all that stuff. And, she's just doing the best that she can. And Akatsuki feels that she should do the best that she can for Leonessa and to help them both grow. So it's really cool that Leonessa is actually giving the adventurers a chance. She's befriending a lot of them. Akatsuki, that other girl as well, a part of DDD. So I really like that as well. Akatsuki is going to end up getting a lot stronger. She's going to be training alongside the DDD trainers. And apparently, the DDD clan knows of 8 different teachings. So I'm wondering if Akatsuki is going to learn one of them, because if she learns all 8, that's going to be OP mega hats. Like, if she knows like some really sick high-level abilities, high-level skills like Divine Eye and some other crazy shit that coincides with her assassin class or her stealth kills and all that stuff, she's definitely going to be a force to reckon with. And I'm really looking forward to this, especially next week from the preview. Like, she's just going to be going into the badass training, and we're going to get a lot of growth from Akatsuki, especially since now she has to grow as an individual, not having Natsugo and especially her lord Shiroe there with her. From there, we also, from this episode 6, we got some more development from the apocalypse in of itself, and as the no longer a game world has improved and it's changing, I feel like it's a kind of patch or update from what's initially been transpiring since the series has started. A lot of different things has changed. For one, everyone in the game can cook. You don't have to have a subclass of chef. However, the base, you only know the basics of how to cook simple things, probably like sandwiches or salads, for it to come out tasting good and all that other stuff. The 3 big crucial changes were, one, of voice changing. So it was mentioned in the episode that your avatar character, basically your physical, appearance of a guy or a girl, basically is supposed to change. Is supposed to affect how you sound and how you look, etc. But I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a guy player and you play as a girl, vice versa, if you're a girl player and you play as a guy, you're not going to sound like yourself. You're going to sound like your avatar, which I'm guessing that's what it is. But from what we've seen thus far, majority of the characters have had a male or female voice that coincides with the the physique of their avatar. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's basically what I took for it. The second one is world expansion. The world is actually growing, getting a lot bigger. Any 2 points are distancing and spreading apart to where I don't know what that's essentially going to mean for other, for the story or for the progression of where the story is going. But that's another thing. The world's actually expanding. Places are getting bigger. Maybe new civilizations or new territories are going to be coming into play, depending on how vast and how frequent the expansion is. And then lastly, flavor text was also mentioned in the sense that, obviously the items have their own type of lore or their own type of flavor text that adds atmosphere to the story. But some flavor text can actually be harmful compared to others. And we got an example of that because Krusty got destroyed. Like, I don't know if he's actually dead. I don't know if he just died and respawned or what, but the flavor text of that site that his assistant had must have been some crazy ass shit, because that shit like ripped a hole in freaking itself, and the freaking red light and beam just came down and started attacking her. He's pushed her out of the way, and then he just got eviscerated, got obliterated essentially, and her arm got destroyed, and it's not respawning either. So it's like, what the, like, so these flavor texts are actually going to be really, I feel like they're going to be very important, in particular to that katana that dude had. So episode was very informative. For episode 6, episode 5 is very action heavy. And I'm really glad that I was on point with a lot of things that happened. The preview is something that I'm looking forward to so badly for next week's episode. From the preview, Akatsuki's going to be in training. She's going to be learning the ways of the teachings and all that stuff. There's going to be essentially a 64-person raid. Majority of them, I think, are females from Shoujo's clan, as well as Akatsuki, Leonessa, and all those other people. That woman from DDD who's going to be helping Akatsuki and Leonessa grow as people, as players. And if that's true, this is going to be Akatsuki's first raid, which means she's going to be getting a lot of new gear. She's going to be getting phantasmal items, which she mentioned. The only way you can get those are from raids or from buying them from absorbing fees at the shops, which she was looking at the katana when she mentioned that. But I'm just gassed because now it's Akatsuki's turn to get a lot of the growth and development, because up until now, she has been on the sidelines of Shiroe and Natsugo, and now that they're on their own, it's time for her to grow as a character as well. And the last thing that I want to mention is that katana, for example, because the preview also mentioned that dude, that samurai guy, is going to be losing his mind and essentially becoming a monster. I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the flavor text of that katana, because as he was wielding and using that katana, it gave off a very ominous aura to maybe where, it gives him a lot of power. It gives him all this AoE damage. It gives him all of this, power and, destructive force. But maybe there's an effect, maybe there's a cost to it. I don't really know. Like, I'm just assuming, like, maybe that's one of the things the flavor text could go through. Maybe it's like a really badass, powerful katana, but it's like a cursed weapon. Like, the more you use it, the more you slowly succumb to its, dark cursed powers or whatever. At least that's what majority of MMORPGs are. Like, some old games that I used to play, you have like this cursed sword that it has like triple, quadruple damage, but it confuses you or it lowers your HP as you use it or something like that. But overall, very great episode. I loved it so much. I love the route that this series is going thus far. Akatsuki is going to be going on her first raid, all that other stuff. And I'm just glad that overall, I'm just hyped that I just got everything on point with the past 2 episodes. But I will see you guys next week or this upcoming Saturday for episode 7. I will try to be on time for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please be sure to thumbs up if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys next week. Take care.